You're listening to the Live Fierce podcast, where real people share raw stories of strength built on honor, integrity, community, and commitment. These are the values that forged W.O.L.F gyms, and we are the voices behind that movement. This is the culture, this is the pack, this is the Live Fierce podcast.
Today we have a very special episode. We are super excited about some pretty incredible announcements that we have coming. But today we have a special guest. Joe Bowen is on from Fuel Hunt. And Joe, thank you for being on today.
Yeah, man, it's a pleasure. Looking forward to jamming with both of you.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun. It's so funny. We were talking off camera and we were talking about how you do a ton of podcasts. You've done this, you do keynotes, all this stuff. And you're talking about how you started your podcast and you wanted everything just like scripted and set and structured. And then 12 episodes in, you realize, hey, you know what? We're just going to have a chat.
Yeah,
we're just going to talk.
Exactly.
And then all of a sudden it's like, it started taking off and you got more and more views and people were loving it. And
75 episodes, season one.
Yeah,
season 1.
75.
Longest season ever.
I love it.
Season 2 will be shorter. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll do 50.
Well, it's amazing. Well, we're literally the same way. We do not prepare at all. We talked a little bit off camera about kind of what we wanted to talk about. But the reason why we wanted to do this is, and we are here in your HQ.
That's correct.
And here in Philly, in the HQ, which is, the building was built in the 1890s.
Yep.
Incredible spot. You've got your inventory behind us.
Such a cool warehouse.
And I know there's a story that we got to get out of the two of you about how we almost got together and then it wasn't the right time. But what I want to talk about is like your story first and like kick this off, because you're going to be handling all the apparel for W.O.L.F. And that's really important to us because we have an incredible brand Tony and the team has built and we continue to build, and it's a separate business. It's a whole different line and it's not something that we are the best at. And we're extremely excited to be partnering with you on this endeavor and to have you handle all this. Yeah. And the values, and everyone will be able to hear this.
I think that's what it means the most to me.
Yeah.
Is the shared values.
It's the shared values.
Even our dichotomy of how we know each other is the most important part to me.
Yeah. So I feel like I should shut up and let you guys talk.
we were talking about entrepreneurship off camera before we started, and the freedoms that eventually gives you, right? After you go through battle. And one of those freedoms is freedoms of relationship. Yes. And I think that's what this is here. It's like people that share the same values working together and having an opportunity to do that. So I'm really pumped for it.
Why don't you share the values a few so that our members can understand how the alignment was forged?
Let me should I give you a little bit of the origin story?
Should we do that? Absolutely.
I want to hear all of it. I want to hear all of it.
Yeah. So my background is technology. So when I was like 11 years old, I started coding. My dad's boss at the time, my dad's a carpenter, bought me a computer. His brother was a developer and a programmer. And he was like, look, here's this computer and I'm going to drop this book off with you too. And it was a book on HTML, like how to build websites. This is like the 90s, right?
Oh yeah.
An actual book.
I'm dating myself now. Yeah, he's like, here's this book. And like, I opened it up and I was like, as a kid, I always like took stuff apart. Like anything, like a microwave went, I'm like, yo, Dad, don't throw that out. Like, let me take this thing apart and like see how it's made, you know?
You're like a systems person. Like,
exactly. Yeah. So I'm systems driven, but I'm also artistic, right? So like I also drew a lot, right? So I had this like operational systems driven side of me, and then I had this artistic side of me where I was drawing, painting, things like that. So he dropped this book off. I love to write, right? He dropped this book off and I'm going through the book and I'm like, wait, you mean to tell me I can write to build something? Like I can use words to build something that works on this machine, and then eventually someday I can sell this to people? And he's like, yeah, that's how like the world's like shaping up right now. I'm like, this is amazing. So I went down that road. I was in technology for a bunch of years, had my own agency. And then things started to change a little bit in the world. My cousin, Drew, is 10 years younger than me. And he was coming up in corporate, about to cross some of the bridges I had already crossed in corporate, and really even in life. So for a solid year in 2017, on our commutes to and from the office, we spent it on the phone. He'd have questions, we talk about our days, really just like business and life. And we noticed two things. Two themes kept coming up during those conversations. The first one was people were becoming more and more entitled to what they didn't earn, right? And the second one was people were looking for more and more shortcuts to get to their goals.
Can I stop real quick? Can I ask a bunch of questions? The first part, how did you guys notice that? Like, where did that show up?
I mean, it showed up in our offices, showed up in our communities, right? Showed up in our schools. It was all over the place. Like we're from, as Tony knows, like we're from a blue collar family, hardworking family. Everybody worked with their hands. Everybody understood and valued a hard day's work.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And we saw that disappearing in our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? The type of people that were moving on our street, you know what I mean? The type of work that they were involved in. Yeah, we lived in the inner city. The type of work, if you want to call it work, that they were involved in, you know, dealing, things like that. And we were just like, man, what is happening? Like everybody used to leave their house with a hammer. You know what I mean? And come back exhausted, eat, spend a little time with their family, and repeat. Now things are different. People want things that they didn't earn. They expect things that they didn't earn. And we saw society changing in front of us.
Why do you think that was?
I think that somewhere along the line, we had the right intentions, but we started praising what's required.
We as a society, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, for clarifying. Society started to praise what's required. And I think that's where we went wrong. And I think that it really started with children, I think that we had the right intentions, but we got to a place where I think it was my generation first. I'm 43, right? So I guess I'm a millennial, which is crazy.
I think we are millennials.
Yeah, I think we're millennials, right?
As much as it pains us to say.
Like my generation, I saw it with kids in my generation that they didn't want to work in the mailroom before they got the corner office. They didn't want to, guys in the trades, like they didn't want to sweep the floor before they did the finish work. You know what I'm saying? Like that was my generation where things...
Handouts became a thing of normal.
Yeah. And I think it was, when I was a kid, parents were starting to put together the rule book or a guidebook on how to be a great parent. And it was like, hey, shower your kid with praise. Like even with what's required, like, if they ate dinner that day, like they're the best ever. And it's like, well, wait now, like you got to eat to live. You know what I'm saying?
It's so like foundational stuff.
Yeah, it's foundational stuff. And I think that's where things started to change.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, hey, look, I got up this morning, and sometimes getting up's hard. Everybody's fighting something. I get that. But I got up this morning, I made it to the office. So I deserve my paycheck.
You should be pacified for that.
Yeah, I deserve my paycheck,
showing
right?
up and doing your job.
So I'm here. I made it. I'm going to shuffle through my inbox for like 6 hours, and I earn my check.
Yep.
And it's like, that's not the way the world works.
Yeah, I have a harsh side of that one. I'm just like, you're just stealing from someone.
Yes, basically. Yeah. And it's really, if
I think it's called theft by deception.
Yeah.
I won't curse, but the mind effery in it, you're also stealing from yourself.
Yeah.
By the way, you're stealing from someone,
I unfortunately
right?
curse all the
that has
time.
put their faith and trust in you to help them grow their thing, whatever it is. But you're also stealing from yourself.
So they're lacking integrity.
Yeah.
Because they're doing it when they're being watched and also when they're not.
Yeah. When you're robbing yourself, you're stealing from yourself everything that you could be.
Yeah.
So
you guys are driving, you're talking,
Yep.
you're going through this, and now you notice the two things.
Yep.
Right? And so what happened next?
So we're crazy like that. So we said, you know what? This can't be the future, and we can't be the only two people that feel this way. And Drew asked me a question. He's like, are we the only two that believe in hard work, that still believe in like the power that hard work brings to yourself, your community, everything, your family? And I was like, man, it's like we say at my hunting cabin. I was like, everybody wants to eat, but few will hunt. Like everybody wants the win. Very few people want to work, like what's required for it. And he stopped me and he was like, wait a second. He's like, just say that again. He's in sales at the time, right? So like it really resonated
Clicked.
with him, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like Trisha when she blurted out, work out, live fierce.
Yeah.
It just clicked.
Yes. Yeah. It's that moment, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
It gives me chills.
I
still remember that day.
look at my arm right here.
Yep.
Covered in goosebumps.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. I still remember that day, and I remember how it felt. Like I didn't know at the time that it was going to set us on a trajectory that would change our lives, for the next 7 years. But I knew it was like a moment, So at that point, that's when Few Will Hunt was born. Like that's where the name of our community and our company comes from, that mantra. And we decided, we were like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go out and we're going to find the few, right? The people that still value hard work and want to see it restored to the rank and respect it once had. So we're going to restore the dignity of hard work. Yeah. And that's what we're going to do. Like clothing was not a thing.
That was my question.
No, clothing was not a thing.
Nothing about it. Was just more community. It was all about trying to find a common theme
Yes.
with other people that are on the same path as
Yes.
you, that have the same ideals, the same values,
And
and are
see
searching for the same thing.
See the world, the future of the world and the future of society the same way that we saw it. So for 2 years, we're in the trenches, 2017 to 2019,
And as a
building
new
this
parent too,
community on Instagram.
And it's just starting a family.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So my first daughter, my oldest was 1 at the time, and then when we got into the throes of it, again, because entrepreneurship and cycles, right? It's like fun.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's like you're in the minefield of shit looking for rose petals, and then it's like fun again. And then, but the really tough points, both of my daughters were in their first and second years. Yeah. So you guys, you can relate.
Did having those conversations with each other change the way that you guys engaged in what you were currently doing for money, like what you were doing on day-to-day level for work? Did you notice any change, or like you were just dead set on this works?
We printed some banners. So Drew was in the promotional space.
Sure.
He was doing promotional product sales. So he had access. He knew this space. Okay. So that's like a little bit of foreshadowing on how things, but so we printed some banners. We printed a couple tees for ourselves, and we hung them up at our offices and things like that. Fortunately, like the places of employment that we were at the time, really good people, great teams that were on our wavelength for the most part. Had 1 or 2 outliers, but they didn't last. But even to this day, like those organizations are made up of the few, which was good.
That's awesome.
But we just created content basically for 2 years on Instagram, long form content. Think of it like a blog, to bring community members, the few, into our community on Instagram.
What did that look like? Did you guys just do similar to a podcast, or how did that
was
work?
all long form content in Instagram
and
captions.
Long form type. You were writing. You were sending.
I was writing.
Out,
so remember, I said like I love to write.
Yeah.
So what we started doing is writing content about, what the struggle's like, how darkness precedes light, how it feels to really just like, man, stick it out in life until you get to where you want to go.
And some of it was just you engaging with people with what's in your gray that day. Like you're going into, hey, this is an experience that I've experiencing currently, and I want to share it with you guys, and hopefully you're on the same journey.
Yeah.
But by the way, I'm a fan. I've been like a fan since you guys started. That's why I know this so well.
the craziest thing was like for probably like 6 years, 7 years. We switched it up recently just because of the state of social media, but for like 7 years, we didn't miss. We posted every day. Wow. We did not fucking miss. Can I curse?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
We did not. I'm working on that, not cursing as much. So we did not miss. We showed up for our people.
Yeah.
And that's what built a wealth of goodwill with our people. So in 2019, the community started to bubble up a little bit. We're like 10,000 10,000 strong, maybe 15,000 strong at the time. Email list and social, we're still small.
Not selling anything.
No.
Literally just building a community.
We had
just building a community.
Those first tees that we printed for us, we had maybe 20 of them. Most of them we just gave out.
Yeah.
But we had like a website and stuff at the time. But the community started to bubble up, and they're like, look, like we want to wear comfort is a slow death. We want to wear average is the enemy. These were themes and rules that were showing up in our content.
Standouts, not handouts.
Right.
Blue collar brawler.
Exactly. They're like, we don't just want to read these words. These words, it's who we are, and we want to represent it in the world. So again, we had one of those dumb moments where we're like, 2 years of, this probably could have been sooner, but that's when apparel came into the game. And
you could have been sooner, but I think there's something interesting about this that a lot of people can take from that. If they're an entrepreneur, you waited so long before asking. So you gave until until the community asked for something.
Yep.
And I think too many people jump to sales way too fast before, and they bring something because they're like, this is important to me, instead of actually building a community first and building demand. Like at the root of it all, you built demand.
Also, I think a lot of entrepreneurs trip themselves up thinking life is Shark Tank, and that by quitting their 9 to 5 without being able to support themselves economically, this is going to work. And sometimes great, if you have enough hustle and you got enough resource, it does. But if you don't, it doesn't. Then you've just quit your job for the reason of a dream. You need to be able to support the endeavor, and you guys did that. I mean, like I said, I'm a fan, and so the community that you guys built before you launched anything, was loud and proud. Like you guys were, like you said, posting every single day, writing to us.
Yep.
I say us.
Yeah,
I was reading it.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, dude, I think that community is huge for W.O.L.F.
Yeah.
That's one of our 4 tenets that we stand on every single day.
It's one of the reasons I think we're all sitting around the table.
Yeah.
Again, like freedom of relationships, like I said in the beginning, like you want to work with people that value the same things you do and have the same world vision or world view that you do. I just did a keynote at Bedros's BK Live about how to build a profitable community, right? And we did it, talking about demand, right? Yeah. We did it a way that I wouldn't really recommend fully to entrepreneurs coming up, but we did it in reverse. Like a lot of entrepreneurs nowadays, they say, hey, look, I want to make a shitload of money. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But they start with profit. And then they say, okay, in order to make that big bag of money, this is what I have to sell, right? Here's the product. And then they say, okay, here's the people that are going to buy it, right? So it's all kind of self-serving in the beginning. Yeah. And then at the end, and some do it immediately after they get through that part, but some wait a long time, they staple a purpose onto the end. And they're like, oh yeah, by the way, this is why we're doing it. This is our purpose.
Yeah, we're saving dogs, saving cats.
Right.
Yeah.
That, or maybe, something else, 1% to this person or that person. We did it the reverse. We had our purpose. We're like, look, we're going to restore the dignity of hard work. My own friends, I love them to death. They're ball breakers. They laughed at me when I was like, hey, look, like we're gonna put society back on track. They're like, what? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
But we
what
knew,
are you gonna do?
Right. We knew our purpose. We found our people. Our people asked for our product, and then the profit followed. Yeah. So we did it.
And the why resonates throughout every single one of them.
Yes,
so you never have to worry about why they bought it, if they will rebuy.
Right,
they already are in tune with you guys. You're vibrating on the same same
now,
frequency.
If I'm speaking to entrepreneurs now, like I don't necessarily recommend that approach. Like know your numbers. We waited a little too long to know our numbers.
Yeah.
Know your numbers, and profit's important, and you need to understand like if you want to have money's a maximizer. So if you have a big mission like us, like restore the dignity of hard work, serve 1 million hard workers in 10 years to change the complexion of society, you're going to need money. Is a maximizer of impact, So know your numbers. Entrepreneurs just starting up, know your numbers.
Yes.
Proof of concept is highly important. It shouldn't be overlooked. You guys proved your concept while you may have, in your opinion, waited too long. Yeah. I think in terms for us, you could have waited 5 more years if you wanted to, and you'd have the same effect. People jived with what you guys were putting out there, so they would have bought if you sold that on day 1 or day 1 million because of the message and because they F with it. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I see it as almost like building a house, right? And you went and you built the foundation, and you went deep on the foundation, and you went wide.
You built the basement,
it's like a bombshell.
Shooting range.
You built a nuclear bombshell. Like, hey, we're gonna stay here. We're building this, and you built the foundation, and then everything else is. It's not easy, but it's simpler, and it's much easier to attract the people that are part of that community and to get your word out and to build a brand. Once you build that foundation, a lot of people just build their house on a bed of sand. Yes, because they're just thinking, I want money, I want recognition, I want the Ferrari, I want all those things, and it's like that's not. And they go up, and then it just comes crumbling down. But you built something, in my opinion, by doing it that way, even though it may not be the same for everyone. By doing that, I think you built something that's going to last a really long time because you built that strong foundation behind purpose. Yeah, and that's why we're here at this table is because of the purpose. Yep. And between the two of us. So go ahead. Did you have a question?
No.
So 2019.
Yeah, 2019 apparel comes on the scene.
Yes.
Yeah. And then 2020 is our first 7-figure year. So like 0 to hero, like, you know what I mean? It was just.
But because of what you did before.
Because of what we did before, we never created a selling environment. We created an environment to bring people together and help them work hard towards their hopes and dreams. Yeah. So when the apparel came out, everybody's like, this just makes complete sense. Like, this is who I am. When it comes to community, there's 3 things. There's some golden rules, but there's like 3 things. Like people, one of the golden rules of community is people join community not to conform. They join community to stand out. Yeah. And in most people's minds, they think it's the other way around. It's like, okay, people want to find a community where they can fit in. But that's not the case. People join communities, especially ours, to stand out in the world, to say, hey, look, like we're doing something different here. And we're going to change the direction of how things are working. we're unique. We're not conforming, you know?
And they're welcomed to your community with open arms because they receive the message and they believe with it too. Yeah. Peacock all day long. That's the beauty of it. We know why you're here. We don't care what you're doing as long as you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, so since 2020, it's been a wild ride. And honestly, we didn't know what we didn't know. Most entrepreneurs don't, I think. And that strong foundation, that nuclear fallout shelter that we built has enabled us to survive through our mistakes, to be honest, you know, because you make a lot in the beginning, you know? So it's, we're super grateful for our community. We will always be community first.
That's amazing. How was that transition for you going from software to now apparel? I'm going to say apparel because on the business side, it's really community based, but the apparel side it's the business. And so what was that like for you?
It was helpful in the beginning because I could just build all the stuff we needed. You know what I mean? So like tactically, it was a big help. But as I reflect on who I am and maybe who I've always been, this is where I belong now. Like,
I remember, I'm sorry to cut you off. I remember it was, I think the night my brother proposed. Was when we went to Eastern State Penn?
Yeah. My house,
You guys had just started.
Yep.
And talking about
that
it to the family.
That sounds about right. Yep.
I remember it being like, I was a gym owner at the time, right? Yeah. But it wasn't like franchising. It was just a small little training studio.
Yep.
And I just remember thinking how freaking awesome it was. And like, I didn't think for a second, quitting your job to do this is a crazy idea because, well, I quit my job to do what I was doing. So I'm like, who am I to throw stones? I didn't understand what you guys were doing because I hadn't followed the product or followed the pathway of reading everything you guys are putting out, and content wasn't really there yet. But I was like, that's fucking badass.
Yeah,
like if he's doing it, if he's quitting his job that's paying him 6 figures, I should feel no certain way about doing what I'm doing because I love what I'm doing.
Exactly. I was killing it. Like it was hard, you know, and I love my team. You know what I mean? And it was difficult. It was a difficult decision, but it was.
You also had 2 kids at the time too, so we're not talking like this is not a small decision at all.
No. 2 kids, established life.
Just bought a home.
I had a certain lifestyle that I was living, based on my hard work up to that point. I got my first job in tech when I was 19. I was working on Wall Street in Princeton when I was 19.
Wow.
So like I was grinding. I was sleeping on the CEO's couch. I'd get up. I'd go to LaSalle University. I'd take a couple classes. I'd drive back to Princeton, work, sleep on his couch, rinse and repeat. So like I had a certain lifestyle I was providing for people. Like it was a big decision.
Yeah.
My first business, when I quit my job to run that, to own and run that, owner operator, it was different. I was single. I wasn't married, didn't have kids.
Oh, yeah.
My mouth was the mouth I was feeding.
Yeah, that was
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
You can live on ramen if you have to.
Exactly. I can fast a couple days.
We're fine.
Fast.
Yeah, we're good. I'm gonna get ripped. Yeah, we're good.
Exactly.
Yep.
Dude, exactly.
A little different when you got kids.
It's way
they gotta mouths to feed.
They gotta eat.
Way different.
Oh, yeah.
Way different. Yeah, explaining fasting to my, it's not gonna work.
No, it doesn't work.
But it was when I reflected on it, it was what I was meant to do. I had a calling inside of me, and it was what I was meant to do. And like, to this day, I hand sketch the tees. Then someone much more talented than me makes it digital, digitizes it for print and everything. But like, I was doing that since I was a kid. I was creative writing since a kid. You know what I mean? The technology piece was there. Like, it's just all of these things, as I look back on it, hindsight's 2020, brought me to this moment.
But that's what makes it such a good product, because it is a product of you. It's a product of your brain. Your inspiration comes from yourself. You draw it, you can physically manifest it, and then someone's putting it into digitization. But like, you're the person that's doing these things, which I think makes it more important to your community, because it's not like you're saying, hey, go make me 10 designs. It's no, you're sitting there hand drawing these things because the pride that you take and the purpose that you've put into the stuff that you're doing.
Fuel Hunt is different in many ways, but it's different because when you wear Fuel Hunt, you can feel that energy. I believe that. And that's another reason why we're here and not somewhere else. We're in a facility from the late 1800s where they used to dye and spool yarn.
Which I'm jealous of, by the way. I'm jealous of this building.
There's energy in these walls. There's energy in these floors. When we moved in, they were stained with oil from all the machinery and everything. There's people made stuff here. And that energy goes into that fabric and people feel it. So it's not just about wearing Fuel Hunt, it's who you are when you wear it. And it's because of that energy. So at least that's what I believe.
I love it. What was the hardest part for you? Like, when was the time? Because I think every entrepreneur faces a time when they want to give up.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a time?
Oh yeah, many times.
Yeah.
Many times.
One time would be a crazy thing.
I was going to say, because it's like a daily, like, F this. And it's like, no, this is amazing. We're doing great. And then it's like, it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster. I call it the roller coaster.
Well, it's because you have to hold yourself accountable for everything. There is nobody that holds you and I or you guys accountable.
No.
We have to be the people that hold accountability on our heads and our shoulders.
However, we are feeling that day. And like, that's the thing, like, people sometimes don't get that, like, I'm nobody. I'm a regular dude, right? But I have this. My team and I have built this, right?
Yep.
But I'm still average Joe. Like, I still have my emotions. I still have my excuses. I still have shit days. But when you're here, when you're sitting in these seats, you have to get up and do what you need to do anyway.
Well, you bring the weather.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got to change the weather.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Well, you are the weather for everybody in your system.
Listen, I was at a military appreciation event for Core Medical. Shout out Core Medical and Sid. And I was on a panel there. And I said, look, I'm a believer, right? I'm a man of faith, reconnected with my faith. And like, I am made in the image of my higher power, which means I am a creator, which means I, on a daily basis, to honor that, need to create the weather, change the weather, create these designs, do this thing. Like, that is my responsibility.
You're creating your culture.
Yes.
In your
that is my responsibility. So, it's a rule of the few, but, turn emotions and excuses into effort. That's how it manifests itself as a rule of the few. I firmly believe that. That's like, if I wake up and I'm having a shit day or I have a lot of excuses, I'm like, look, I was put here for a reason, and I'm not a carbon copy, but I was made in the image and likeness of my higher power. So I got to bring that power today. I got to change the weather, or I got to create these designs. That's kind of the way I look at it. When you're in this seat, that's what you need to do.
That's the only way you can look at it, or else you failed everybody who follows.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'm going to skip ahead a little bit, and I want to get this out because you guys tried to work together a while before, and it just didn't.
Well, yeah.
So
long story short, Joe and I are related by his sister is married to my brother. So we have a familial tie. And about 3 or 4 years ago, when we were just opening our third location, I was like, shoot, man, we need better clothing opportunities for our customers. And so I reached out and we tried. We both tried. It just, for us, it wasn't economical at the time because it was just our 3 units. We couldn't supply demand, or we couldn't provide enough money for inventory, blah, 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 whatever it was. Yeah. But we still had fun with it. We had photo shoots in the gyms. Our flags are up everywhere. We got placement.
We did have some fun.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, on our side, I think it was probably one of those difficult moments for us. We were weathering a storm. Most of our storms over the years, like talking about difficult moments, most of our storms over the years have been around just like financial engineering, understanding profit, turning over cash, things like that. Because we're so purpose driven. Again, it's crazy because it could become an excuse, actually. You have to bear the responsibility of being fiscally responsible as well as responsible to your purpose and your people,
But you can't carry on that purpose without making a profit. If you don't make a profit, then Fuel Hunt stops. Exactly. Which means all the people that care about it, the community that's relying on you, the people that are here working that are relying on you and Drew, right? Yeah. That's all gone if you can't make a profit.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's where I do see a lot of amazing businesses that have an incredible purpose, an incredible mission, and they are actually doing good in their communities. They actually shut down because they lose sight of the fact that you still have a business and you still have to do that.
All of our difficult moments have been around that. Now we're dialed, which is great, but it took a while to get here, and I think when we started, when we tried to work together the first time, we were like in those storms a little bit at the moment. There's been so many challenges, like you said, it's a day-to-day thing. Sometimes you lose.
I don't know if it was 3 or 4 years ago.
I don't know exactly what it was. I don't know exactly what it was at the time.
Oh yeah, it's a blur.
But I can guarantee
for us, I
it was
think
some
we were
type of
paying
storm.
for an inferior product, and to go from an inferior product to a superior product, I didn't understand the difference in cost. Yeah, and so that matrix is very different.
Yeah, especially American made.
100%, which is what we wanted, and which is why we're here. We want to be. That's what we're proud to be American. That's the whole mission.
Yeah,
we're lucky to be here.
Yeah.
But at the time for us, I just know I couldn't afford it. It was a better product and I loved it. I was just, shit, can't afford it. Sorry, love it, but it's just not ready yet.
Yeah.
Our supply chain's grown too since then, which is great. So, and just our speed of implementation, like our time to web and time to design's better. Like, you know what I mean? We're just well-oiled.
Yeah.
Much more well-oiled.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're excited. I'm super excited because walking into this and looking at the apparel that we have was also great, by the way. Because like everywhere we go, people are always talking, man, your apparel is awesome. But what makes me super excited is the fact that we get to partner with you now.
It gets turned up a couple notches.
Yeah, now it just gets better and better.
Yeah.
And I know we have a vision for, people rocking W.O.L.F everywhere and the community. And the cool part is they're also a part of that is going to be Fuel Hunt as well. And I'm really excited about that. Do you guys have anything like you want to talk about what's coming or anything? Do we have any plans for that, or are we just rocking this out?
I'd rather them find out when we launch in January what we got going on.
Okay.
I think that's going to be all I can say is, like, if you love what we have right now, you're going to absolutely love 10x more what we have coming.
Yep.
Yes.
Quality, design, implementation, availability online, all of those things that we currently don't have will be there. And I can't thank you enough for saying yes to this journey with us, to be honest.
Honestly,
you're solving a huge problem that just distracts so much of our time and energy. Like, what we're good at is gyms. What you're amazing at is what you've built. And I think because we have the community aspects tying us together, and we have the same beliefs and same backgrounds, and we're family, who the hell else am I going to pick up the phone and call?
Well said. Yeah, but we're very grateful for the opportunity too.
Very excited. We're very excited. And for anyone that's listening or watching this, definitely go and check out Fuel Hunt.
Yeah, and you'll be seeing us in their stores too. We'll be inside of our gyms.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Very cool.
I have a feeling this is not the last podcast that we were going to do.
Hey, look, anytime you want to jam, let me know. Sign me up.
I'm good
down,
with that.
down to jam. And when we open up season 2, we'll have you guys on.
Oh, heck yeah.
The
that'd
Fuel
be
Hunt
amazing.
show.
Yeah, love it.
That'd be awesome.
Fuel Hunt show, yeah.
Well, cool, man.
All right, guys, beautiful. Live fierce.